Okay. Did it work? Aren't we live? Also, why is Spotlight just absolutely having a time over here, man? Can I turn off the preview somehow? Whatever. I'll see it here. Okay. Are we good? Can everybody hear me? Ah. What was that? Go with this. All right, so we're good here. Cool. Let me hear the stream mix. I should be hearing myself right now. Okay. We are not live here. Why? It says we are, though. There we go. Okay. Chat, we're good. Moving this over here. Okay. So you guys are just gonna see the like meld enjoyer things that were weird over here. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work fully. I am keeping a close eye on my stream. Mainly the Spotify mix. I am running streamer beats right now. So let me just check. We're good here. If I wanted to go into Shaper. Why did you turn off? Hang on. My backlight turned off. I am connected. I turned this off or something. Yep. Sick. Cool. Let me warn my wife that I'm streaming. I'm streaming, sweetheart. I'm streaming. Yep, love you. Okay. We are good. Get my mixes up. So I'm using why are you still doing this? Go away. Go away. Okay, stream seems to be a little bit. There we go. Cool. All right, so YouTube is doing good. I can see exactly where people are coming from. Live stream over here is going.
Latina event. Need an easy dinner idea? Get empanadas and burritos.
Shut up. You should not be hearing that anymore. Because I had my personal mix up. Cool. Okay. We're good. I think we are running strong right now, guys. Love it when a plan comes together. All right, cool. Sick. We love that. The only thing that I'm worried about now is there, I am testing out a like way to take my phone and go into the workshop and show you guys what I'm doing while I'm in there, because the whole point of this live stream, it is really cold in here. To be on a little bit. Okay, so the entire point of this live stream and most live streams of mine going forward are I want to do live builds, and by the end of the live build, because I am dual streaming over to Twitch and YouTube, I want to be able to take this opportunity, be like, hey, whatever you guys see me make, because of how I am doing this, I am making 2 of them at the same time. One sec. Wow. Give me back some music. So like, the funny thing is right now, like, I don't think this has even caught up. It's good seeing some familiar names popping up on my feed. Okay, so like YouTube, even though I'm running excellent speeds, is like 20 minutes, not 20. Good Lord, I haven't even been streaming 20 minutes. It's like a entire minute and a half behind. It's wild. Whereas Twitch is keeping up nice and good. But as I was saying, the point of these streams moving forward, because of the nature of how I am going to be doing this, I have to I'm gonna have to make like 2 of each one of the Pokeballs that I am making for the stream. One for my own collection, and then one that I want to send out as a personal gift. So yeah, today I am working on a Pokeball, and I want to go through kind of how I do things. That way, future things, you guys know what how I operate. So let's start. The first thing that I always do is I have my personal 3D modeler of choice is Shaper. And if you haven't seen the new ball, hang on. Should have put the button in place before I did this top gate. Okay, it goes back that far. Let me just make the button, no, the top gate clear. The top gate scale, what the heck? Okay. Not scale. What is happening? You know, my own voice to use this, by the way. I mean, you can stay on YouTube. You just understand you're probably going to be a little bit behind. I'm trying to build up the YouTube stuff as like fast as possible, and the first thing everybody tells me is like, you know, start streaming immediately. Okay, never mind. Don't think I can do that. Top gate and button. Okay. Button can probably go in to about right there. Doesn't look like it's coming through. Cool. Sick. So yeah, if you haven't seen the new ball top shell, this is kind of what we're going for now. The biggest thing about my last design is that, like, first off, now I haven't tested out the newer hinge system that I've made here. It's going to be a little bit annoying if I print all of this out and it doesn't open up at least to a, 90-degree angle. But yeah, the point of all of this, so if I remove the top shell and the top gate, if you look inside, just like with my last ones, you know what, I kind of want to add a little bit of a visualizer for the emitter, which is going to be generally yellow. Well, no, it's going to be silver usually, so let me change the material. There we go. So that will usually be silver, and the power system, which, by the way, I am like using the correct terminology for all of these in the parts of the Pokéball, because the Pokéball like insides are different than most. Okay, so we want that. I bring the top shell back, make the bottom shell go away for a minute. Change polished aluminum. Cool. So if I go back to the modeling, good here, right? Yeah. I don't know what this is about. Why is the bottom shell suddenly clear? Did I mess it up already? I did. Boop. Cool. So the point of this, bottom gate back up, and then top shell go away. The inside of every Pokeball, it's mirrors on the inside, so I always paint this chrome. Do the materials matter to the actual 3D print? It's just for visualization. I've seen people use this for 3D modeling in the sense of like how you use it in most of your stuff. And it generally shifts over pretty well into articulation, so people will build out models in Shaper, throw it into Blender, and add in skeletons in order to make things happen. Now, this works the same way that like Fusion 360 does. Cool. That Fusion 360 does, that it's like I can go back and change things. But you have to be really careful. You got to give your tolerances and all that fun stuff for 3D printing. But at the end of the day, oh, top shell, come back. This is what the new Pokeballs will look like. I kind of designed them off of the Wizards of the Coast. I have a version. The band on this doesn't really give it justice. Trash can. So this is like a filament version of it that I already printed. tested out. I really like the hand feel. I like that when I open it, which I guess that tells me that the hinge system does work. When I open it, the band is one piece, which has been the issue with my last design. Now, of course, it's not fully one piece, but like if you look at a Pokeball within the context of the show, it opens up and the band is still connected to it like that. So these are the new designs for the Pokeballs moving forward for me. And they just kind of, the other issue that I was having with the last ones, if I don't want to get up and show the Hootie Ball, this is a ball. I don't know any other way to say it. It is an orb, and it is an actual orb. I designed it to stay a ball shape, whereas the last design kind of came across eggy, like it would be slightly elongated like this, but you know, if this was closed. So William, I actually have made several of those. Danny actually has one. He has a moon ball that is completely clear all the way through. So whenever I get to this phase right here, I usually go, and it's not going to show you. No, it's not. Okay, it's not showing you the export, but you can go down to export and you can export it as a Shaper 3D file, a 3MF file, a Parasolid file, a step file, an STL, a JT, a GLB, an OBJ, yada, an SVG, yada, yada, yada. I usually, if I am sending it to resin, I'll do an STL. If I am sending it to filament, I will do a step file. So I already have these exported. The next thing that I'll do is I'll go into Lychee, which is my slicer of choice. Once I'm in Lychee, I'll start from the beginning here. Oh. So within Lychee, you can pick your stuff. I'll start with a 6KS. I tend to print in clear a lot of the time. It's just an easier way for me to know that the resin is going to fully cure all the way through per layer versus my grays. So what I'll do is I'll start with the printer that I'm working with. I will add a file. Good thing y'all can't see that. Let us start with, yeah. And this should tell you what I'm working on today. I have made all of the Pokemon shells, Pokeball shells from the first episode of the anime. You've got Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander right here. And of course, the Pikachu ball. But I designed them all on the same shaper thing, so I have to go in, click on it, go to tools, split it, and it will split into 4 individual parts. So the reason that I'm working on this, let me go to the Hangout side. So if you look right there and right there on my right there and right there on my shelf, I actually have two whole shelves of Pokemon that are just the starters. And when I say starters, I mean Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander. Each one of them has their first card, their Pop Funko, along with any of the evolutions that I can find. I gotta find the Ivysaur Pop Funko. I tend not to collect Funko Pops anymore. I used to be like gung-ho about it, but then I don't watch them anymore. So now all I collect is the Pokemon Funko Pops because that's what I enjoy. But I also, if you look like right there, yeah, right there, I have their Campbell's soup cans. So each shelf, you've got Charmander, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. They have their Japanese and English games, and I know there's not really a green version unless you're counting Leaf Green, but that is a fake cart that I told them to send me the shell so that my display can be complete. They have their first Tommy toy, their most recent Tommy toy, which I'm probably just going to absolutely fill these. Hopefully, my goal is for an entire 4 sections of this shelf to just be those starters. Their micro blocks and their mega blocks figures. So now I need their starter balls. I need their canonical first starting Pokeball. And to do that, go back to Lychee. I am going to start with, of course, my forever starter, Bulbasaur, which I don't want to say his name. It's like Fugu. Now, Fugi Mashi? I don't know. So within the first context of the first episode of the Japanese anime, if you go back and watch, like even the English version, their Japanese name is just stamped on the front.
For all the things you have to do and places
I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Take you there.
I desperately
because you're the designated
have to pee.
Not
So,
driver.
you guys hang out for a second,
Because walking and
and I will be right
1
back.
is never fun.
I am going to pause
Because
this
tonight the
ad,
game turned into the main
because you
event.
guys don't deserve that. I'll be right back. Oh, I will not be getting those Lego figures. Sweet God. Those Lego figures, like, I can barely afford to keep resin on the shelves right now. Which reminds me, time to plug that. If you want to support me in any way, you can go to my Throne or to my Patreon. Please ignore the fact that the first tier of the Patreon is to send you to Discord. We are not going to be on Discord much longer because that whole put in your license thing came into effect, and I don't want to limit my audience like that. So we'll go back to Lychee. Usually when I get into Lychee, the first thing that I like to do is to see if it's floating, and it is. Cool. So what I'll do, you want your prints to kind of work for you instead of against you. So for something like a dome, what I tend to do is lift it up about 8 millimeters. And then from there, I will rotate it 12 millimeters. And I tend to like the opening for the gate to be about the front, because when you print with resin, this won't be as detailed if you don't point it upward. So I tend to keep any words or logos facing upward, and from there you kind of want a strong base for your supports when it comes to resin. So I always start with heavy, and I have made a heavy thin, which means the tip of the support doesn't dig into it, so it doesn't leave as big a divot. It will still leave a divot, but not as big as one. First, if you ever do this kind of stuff, run an island search. What an island is this will print, if you look at like the preview for it, this will print exactly how you think it will. So that right there is where it starts, and it's the island. So if I don't have any supports on there, it's just floating in thin air. It's not going to print correctly. Same thing for the beginning of the little cross looking thing. So what I like to do is I show those, and I'll generally add medium support, so not as, beefy supports to it, and then just add on to them to make sure that nothing can go wrong. Right. Like that, medium. Please stop. Don't like that. Okay, so from there, I will take a couple of lights and just boop, boop. Make sure that this is built up, that when that first layer happens, it's got something to grab onto. The thing I love about like 3D modeling in this case is I was an artist before I started doing all of this. I used to paint a lot. But 3D modeling makes you think in a 3D space. So you can't just think in the 2 dimensions. You have to think in your 3-dimensional space, which means if it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. If this looks cool, but this doesn't make sense, then this is not going to print correctly, if that makes sense. So once I get this taken care of, I go back to my thin heavies. Stop that. I go back to my thin heavies, and I just give it a good solid. If it looks like it might move, then I take care of it. Now, the one that I'm making for myself, I've already printed it. Spoiler alert, I've already printed this first shell on the strings. We are good. Dear Lord. Oh, this isn't live. That's why. Okay, that makes so much more sense. YouTube is correct, by the way. I just wasn't live on my viewing. Love that for me. All right, cool. But yeah, from here, usually you want a solid base, a solid foundation. Mine is printed already, like all of the parts. That's what we're going to sand and paint tonight. And I try to stay at least a little bit symmetrical. Okay, that's not. Cool. Close enough. And then I just work inward. So I go to my mediums. And you kind of want to do what makes sense with your supports. So I don't want any of this to droop, which is a normal process in 3D resin. It will attach itself to the point of this support, so it will kind of elephant foot itself. So for the one that I'm making for the giveaway, I don't want that. So working on this. All right. When you think of this being the first thing that is printed, you kind of want to keep the mass majority of your supports at that, because the higher that it goes, it doesn't need as much supporting. It still needs it, it just doesn't need as much. So I tend to focus heavily down here. Just to keep things, you know, safe during the print. I have such a hard time with streaming in the sense of like, I don't know what it is. I don't get bored, but I think my ADHD kicks in and it's like, you can't focus on talking to them and doing your thing and being able to get up and just go do something. Can't do all that at once, kids. So why, if you ever see me on my TikTok lives, what generally ends up happening is if I don't have people talking to me, or if I'm not teaching something on it or showing something off, what ends up happening is I go for like 15 minutes and then I turn it off. Okay. It should be good. Now, from here, sometimes I want to like now why can't I hit manual supports? Start support projection. So from here, what I'll do is I'll make a support projection. And I'll just kind of draw on where I want the supports to happen. And I want all of this supported because it's a dome. If you don't support a dome during a 3D print, chances are you're going to end up with a failed print. And I want as minimal of those as possible. Oof. What is this about? All right, these need to be mediums. Yeah, that didn't do what I wanted it to. Cancel. Start projection. You know what? Let's do this. Cool. I'll do the trick. Okay. Nope. Random. Grid. This is so strange that it's doing it this way. Okay, cool. So you can usually do this just to get yourself a starting point going and then fill in where needs your help later on. Sometimes I'll spend a lot of like wasted hours just messing with the which supports I use, but technically this would print a-okay. Right now what it is I need to make sure that the brim right here that I'm working on is supported correctly. So I'll use lights around it. Zoom in, and this, like, if y'all have ever wondered why it has taken me so long to make Danny's Epic the Musical Balls, you're looking at it. Aside from moving, I have to go through and put supports all over these things because specifically for the Epic the Musical Balls, I want to print them one time and move on with my life. I don't want to spend, you know, too many hours sanding, making it look normal. So I want to make sure that we don't get much elephant footing. Ooh. Still no ad going on, which is good. Is this overkill? Yes. Will I do it this way for every last one of them? Probably not. But am I wanting this one to be really good for whoever gets it? Yeah. Okay. Now, for stuff like this, I could add supports to these overhangs, but I just kind of watch it print and make sure that it doesn't need it, you know? And for blocky letters like Japanese, it generally doesn't. All right, so the last thing I do is I go through with mediums and I just kind of make sure that the back of the ball is super supported, because this is where a chunk of the weight is going to be throughout the entirety of the print. And if specifically for a Pokéball, I can go in with a power sander and sand all of these divots down. But better to have it and to not need it than to need it and not have it, kind of thing. Cool. So once I get the supports going, I'll go in and give it a little bit of structure with bracing. Oh, we got some ads.
From the prepared foods department and check out low-priced frozen.
Okay. Bracing is exactly what it sounds like. Puts a lot of these braces around it. It just helps with the print. Wastes so much resin, but again, I would rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, kind of thing. Then you want a good base, a good raft. I tend to make it 0.8 millimeters, so it's got something to grab onto. So this is where it's going to get spadicey. I now have to transfer you guys to my phone. And I know how to do it. It's just, will it work? So let's see if we can get it to work. So I'm going to disappear for a second. Boom. Okay. Boom. Okay, we should be good. Cool. Let's see if this is going well on the other. We're doing good. Doing good here. Cool. Okay. So let's go to the workshop. By the way, here's the show. So as you can see, like for Bulbasaur specifically, I have everything. So Funko Pop, a Hershey Keith with them on the bottom. Their first Tommy toy, their more recent Tommy toy, Micro Block, Mega Block, first Pokemon card, first Pokemon game, so their Japanese game from when I lived in Japan, and then this guy, and then their Campbell's Soup can, which is a new addition to everything. Things like Pikachu having Raichu and Pichu make it a little more difficult for me. I highly doubt they will ever come out with a Charmeleon pop, but it is what it is. Oh. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally hit the power button. Okay. So, oh, that is something I need to check. You guys can't hear this that well. Okay. Audio, nope. That's silly. Check. How does this work? Ugh. Here we go. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Don't know what that was. Wow. Check. What is that? Sorry to y'all's earbuds. Sweet God. Huh. Okay. How do I help you guys hear me while I am in the workshop? Good lord. I had this working, and then it went away. There is a Charmeleon pop figure? Hold on. Holy cow, there is. And a Venusaur. Oh, that just made my night. This was 14 hours ago. Okay, so these are new. Venusaur is chonky. Well, okay. Well, did they ever come out with a War Turtle? Nope, they haven't. That's dumb. Okay, it looks like he's coming, just not right now. 7 weeks ago, somebody posted the Ivysaur, and coming soon is a Lycanroc Midnight form, and a War Turtle. So that's cool. That's gonna help my collector brain really, really well. Okay. Trying to think how to get you guys out there. Ah, this may be it. Bottom. Okay. And then let's go back to wavelength. Add ammo microphone. Ugh. Never mind. Sorry. Wait. Ammo is not behaving, and it is ticking me off. Where did Camo go? Oh, there we go. Okay. Check. This is making me nervous, guys. We're all learning here. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Wait, this is supposed to be... Yeah, the string mix. What? Okay. What's happening? Oh, here it went. Okay. I'm gonna go out to the garage, and you guys are gonna hear me either talk or not talk. And I'm gonna come back in here, and you're gonna tell me if you heard me or not. So let's go. Verdict. Could you guys see me? Hear me? William, you let me down. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. I have to think how to get these things to you guys. Think what I'm gonna do. You guys are about to see me live build a scene. Okay. You guys are about to see me live build a scene in shape, in a meld. Okay. Text first. Going to get. Nope. Going to get stuff from the studio. Let us get the old kamikaze font. Boom. Throw it. Cool. Go in here. And then another text. The DRB. Talk among. How do you spell amongst? Not that. Talk to each other. So, gonna do that. Gonna do that. I'm gonna go in and get an image. Boom. Okay. We love building out things as they happen. And then I'm going to go back to this area and grab chat. Back to this. we're just gonna put the chat right here. Wait, wrong thing. Right here. It's not up to date for some reason. Oh, yeah, it is. For some reason, it loaded the last YouTube one. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Cool. Let me add a shape. Give me a rectangle. Okay. Ooh, not like that. By the way, if y'all are still using OBS and not using Meld, I don't know how to help you. Meld has been so much better. Okay, cool. Okay, back to the rectangle. Cool. Okay, so now we have a talk amongst yourself stream. You know what? Actually going to add video device. Okay. Right here. Make it a square. Just so that you know when I'm back, you know? I hate leaving people, like, on red. Dang it.
For all the things you have to do and places
Well,
you
let's
need to
get
be,
past
let
these
Uber take
ads first. And then I'm gonna go and get the stuff and bring it back here. But I have to cure it. So get ready to chat with me for a little bit. Actually, let me go back into this. Since we're waiting. Gonna go black text. Bring that right there. Add a background. I'm gonna go like that. Cool. Hate the font. There's century Gothic with it. Read content. No. Normal. Ooh, bold. Bold and brash. Okay. This is so jank. Okay. Here you go. The ad stopped. It has. Cool. Okay. You guys jive out to the music for a minute. I am going to be right back. Okay. William, I think a lot of them are lurking. So, So, here's the thing. As much as I wanted this live stream to be like a full experience for everybody, I think I'm gonna have to regroup, and reorder in order to make it what I want. Because what I want is for you guys to see step by step everything that I am doing. I also want more people in the stream. So in order to do that, what I'm gonna have to do is kind of pitch, hey, this is going to be a, oh, you're good, bud. I'm going to have to pitch this, hey, there's going to be a giveaway at the end. I'm going to be live building a Pokéball on stream, and by the end of it, you will be able to get the Pokéball that I have made. I think that will not only attract more new viewers, but it will also attract like Danny to come in, because I've kind of teased him about the fact that he has every single Pokeball, but he doesn't have every single Pokeball. So yeah, I think next stream I'm going to paint, but what I'm going to first figure out for next week is how to put this camera in my garage and it work. That's going to be interesting to figure out. Love a challenge. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just end it here, just because there's nothing for you guys to watch. There's me hanging out with you guys. What I need to do is for when things are curing, I have a game playing, so that you guys can help me play a game. I think that's just gonna be the only thing I can do. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure this out together. But from there, this is not going to be a long gap in the stream. I have got to go to Southern California next weekend. And then I've got some family coming over. Hopefully Friday or Saturday, I will be able to stream again. I will alert everybody, and this time we'll get everybody in the chat. So, thanks for joining me, guys. I think I'm going to call it a day and build out this Pokeball and set it up as a prop to get more people in next time. So, see you later.